You know, one of the biggest red flags that most people ignore in relationships is consistent disrespect. And I want to say this loud and clear. If your woman disrespects you not once in a heated argument, but over and over again, leave her. I don't care how beautiful she is, how good the chemistry feels, or how long you've been together. The minute a woman makes you feel small, like your voice doesn't matter, or like you're beneath her, that's not love. That's ego. That's power play. That's emotional abuse dressed up as I'm just being honest. This is Jessica Opare here, and I need you to hear me when I say your self-worth is not up for negotiation. A relationship is supposed to build you up, not break you down. You should not have to question your value every time she opens her mouth. You should not feel like you're walking on eggshells just to keep the peace. Respect is not optional. It is the foundation. And it shows up in the little things, when she cuts you off mid-sentence, rolls her eyes when you express yourself, or makes you the punchline of every joke in front of her friends. When she dismisses your opinions like they don't matter, corrects you condescendingly, or throws low blows in arguments, that's not just a bad moment, that's a pattern. And patterns don't lie. People may fake love, but they can't fake respect for long. Some men stay because they think it will get better. They say she's just going through something, or she's not like this all the time. But here's the truth. Love should never make you feel like you're not enough. And if she's only kind when she wants something or when things are going her way, that's manipulation, not maturity. Let me ask you something. Would you want your son, your brother, or your best friend to stay with someone who constantly made them feel less than? No? Then why is it okay for you to accept that treatment? Why are you justifying her bad behavior while your peace of mind is falling apart? The truth is, some women test boundaries to see how much they can get away with, and the more you tolerate it, the more you teach her that disrespect is acceptable. You're setting the standard for how she treats you, so if she sees that you'll stay no matter how poorly she behaves, she'll keep pushing. I want you to love yourself enough to walk away when the respect is gone, not in anger, not in revenge, but in power. Because staying with a woman who doesn't respect you isn't loyalty, it's self-betrayal. So yes, if she disrespects you constantly and unapologetically, leave her. Your peace, your dignity, your value as a man, it's too expensive a price to pay just to keep someone who doesn't see your worth. You deserve a woman who speaks to you with kindness even in conflict, who values your opinion even when she disagrees, who knows that loving you starts with respecting you, and if she can't give you that, let her go. Let's talk about manipulation, because sometimes it doesn't look like what you expect. It doesn't always come with shouting, threats, or obvious cruelty. Sometimes it comes wrapped in sweet smiles, emotional tears, and carefully chosen silences. And I need you to hear me when I say this. If your woman uses manipulation instead of communication to get what she wants, leave her. This is Jessica Opare, and I'm going to speak from the heart here. A healthy relationship is built on open, honest, and respectful communication. It's not about who can twist the other person's emotions to win. If every disagreement turns into a guilt trip, if every conversation ends with you being the villain, even when you've done nothing wrong, you're not in a partnership, you're in a power struggle. Some women don't ask. They hint, they punish, they withdraw. She'll ignore your calls, give you the silent treatment, or act cold just because you didn't read her mind. She won't tell you what's wrong. She wants you to chase, to guess, to feel bad. And once you do, she suddenly becomes warm again. That's not love, that's control. That's emotional manipulation at its finest. A woman who truly loves you will talk to you. She'll tell you when something bothers her. She'll explain how she feels, not because she wants to break you down, but because she wants to build the relationship up. She doesn't play mind games. She has the courage to be honest. And if that's not what you're experiencing, then I'm telling you right now, you are being emotionally toyed with. Don't let anyone weaponize your emotions against you. If she constantly uses tears to shut down accountability or brings up your past mistakes every time she's in the wrong, that's not fair. If you find yourself always apologizing just to restore peace, even when she started the fire, That's not balance, that's emotional imbalance. And that kind of environment will drain you. A manipulative woman doesn't want resolution, she wants control. She wants to feel in charge without ever taking responsibility. And some of you are staying in relationships like this because you confuse manipulation with passion. You think she acts this way because she cares. No, caring doesn't look like control. Love is not supposed to leave you second guessing yourself all the time. You have to be wise enough to spot the difference between communication and control. One brings you closer, the other chips away at your confidence until you don't even recognize yourself. And some of you are already there. You've lost your voice in the relationship. You're always trying to keep the peace, trying not to upset her, trying not to say the wrong thing. That's not a relationship. That's walking on glass. And let me remind you, a real woman wants connection, not control. A real woman wants a partner, not a puppet. So if you find yourself being manipulated instead of understood, you don't need to fight harder, you need to walk away stronger. Protect your peace, protect your mind. You deserve someone who talks to you, not someone who plays you, and if she can't do that, let her go. There's something every man needs to understand, and it's this. The woman you choose to build your life with will either elevate you or exhaust you. If your woman doesn't support your growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, leave her. Don't wait until your dreams die in silence. Don't wait until you no longer recognize yourself. Because the truth is, a partner who can't handle your growth will eventually become your obstacle. This is Jessica Opare, and I'm saying this with all the love and urgency you need to hear right now. If she gets uncomfortable every time you talk about your goals, if she brushes off your ideas, laughs at your ambitions, or tells you to be realistic when you share your vision, that's not support. That's subtle sabotage. And sadly, a lot of men are in relationships where they're slowly shrinking, dimming their own light, just to make their woman feel comfortable. Let me tell you something. Love isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about growing together. It's about building. And if you're the only one building while she stands on the sidelines with her arms crossed, questioning your every move, it's only a matter of time before you burn out. You weren't created to stay stagnant. A good woman will see your potential and water it, not resent it. You should be with someone who gets excited when you talk about starting that business. Someone who encourages you to take that course, push for that promotion, try that idea. Not someone who makes you feel guilty for spending time on self-improvement. Not someone who gets jealous when you start leveling up or accuses you of changing when all you're doing is evolving. Growth is natural, it's necessary, and any woman who truly loves you will want to see you win, not just when it benefits her, but because your success makes her proud. If she constantly makes you choose between the relationship and your goals, that's a red flag. If she competes with your dreams instead of contributing to them, that's a problem. You were not put on this earth just to be her emotional crutch or her personal bank. You have a purpose, and anyone who doesn't respect that purpose is not qualified to walk beside you. Some women only love the version of you that's easy to manage, the version that doesn't challenge her, doesn't outgrow her, doesn't evolve. But the minute you start expanding, she starts resisting. That's not partnership, that's possession. And you're not here to be possessed, you're here to thrive. A strong relationship is built on mutual upliftment. It's built on two people pushing each other forward, even through the discomfort. So if your woman is threatened by your ambition or constantly brings negativity into your process, it's time to really look at what that relationship is costing you. You deserve someone who claps when you win, not someone who questions why you're winning. Someone who supports your vision even if it scares her. Someone who sees your growth as a blessing, not a burden. And if she can't offer that, if all she does is hold you back, then you already know what to do. Let her go. One of the most emotionally exhausting experiences in a relationship is dealing with inconsistency. I'm talking about that hot and cold, come and go kind of behavior that leaves you confused, anxious, and questioning yourself. Let me tell you something. If your woman keeps disappearing and reappearing in your life like it's some kind of game, leave her. This is Jessica Opare, and I need you to understand something. Love doesn't play hide and seek. Real love shows up. Real love stays consistent. Real love doesn't make you feel like you're on a roller coaster you didn't ask to get on. When someone truly values you, they don't vanish when things get tough and show up only when it's convenient for them. They stay through the storms, the quiet days, the uncertain moments, because they choose you not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. You see, some women use their presence as a way to control you. One minute they're warm, loving, and fully available, and the next they're distant, cold, and unreachable. They pull away just enough to make you miss them, to make you chase, to make you question what you did wrong, and then just when you've settled into the silence, here she comes again, acting like nothing ever happened. That's not emotional maturity, that's manipulation. That's someone who doesn't know how to love, only how to create dependency. Let's be honest, some men stay in this cycle because the highs feel so good. When she comes back, she's sweet, apologetic, affectionate, you feel chosen, you feel wanted again. But don't mistake temporary affection for true love. The same person who leaves you feeling emotionally abandoned has no business calling it love when they return. Love doesn't leave you feeling confused. It doesn't leave you wondering where you stand. It doesn't treat your heart like a convenience. Consistency matters. If her behavior keeps shifting without explanation, if you feel like you never know which version of her you're going to get, that's emotional instability. And you deserve better than that. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve someone who shows up not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and with genuine commitment. Some of you are stuck in relationships with women who treat leaving and returning like it's their right. And every time they come back, you let them in. You convince yourself that maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time she'll stay. But patterns don't lie. People may say all the right things, but their actions always tell the truth. You need to stop romanticizing chaos. Love should not be draining. A woman who truly loves you won't play with your emotions. She won't disappear to prove a point or punish you with silence. She'll stay, she'll communicate, and she'll fight for the relationship, not against it. So if your woman disappears when it matters most, if she only shows up when it suits her, if she's playing the in and out game with your heart, it's time to let her go. Your emotional stability, your peace of mind, your future, they are too valuable to keep betting on someone who only loves you part-time. Walk away and make space for someone who's willing to stay. Let me tell you something that a lot of men are silently dealing with, but very few talk about: constant comparison. And I don't mean the kind that challenges you to be better in a healthy way. I'm talking about being compared to other men in a way that makes you feel like you're never good enough. If your woman constantly measures you against other men, what they drive, how they spend, what they do for their women, leave her. This is Jessica Opare, and I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. A woman who truly sees your worth does not need to look over the fence to appreciate what she has. She's not scrolling through social media, pointing at couples and saying, "Look at what he bought for her," or "Why don't you do things like this guy?" That kind of talk is not motivation, it's emotional erosion. Over time, it chips away at your confidence, your self-worth, and your peace. You are not in a competition. You're not here to be someone else. You're not on this earth to constantly prove that you're worthy by meeting someone else's checklist of unrealistic standards. A woman who compares you to other men is showing you that she values image more than intimacy, that she's more impressed by what looks good on the outside than what's real and solid on the inside.
And here's what really hurts. You could be trying your best, working long hours, staying faithful, showing up emotionally, being present, but somehow it's never enough because she's already made up her mind that someone else is doing it better. The truth is, she's not just comparing, she's devaluing. And once a person starts devaluing you, nothing you do will ever feel like it counts.
What many people don't realize is that comparison is a form of disrespect. It's subtle, but powerful. It creates resentment, distance, and emotional insecurity. It leaves you walking around with silent pressure to earn more, to look a certain way, to behave like someone you're not, all because the one person who's supposed to be in your corner keeps making you feel like a runner-up. Let me make this clear. A real woman will inspire you, not compare you. She'll uplift you, not put you in a mental boxing ring with men she barely knows. And if she does mention another man, it's with respect, not as a way to shame or belittle you. The woman who truly values you doesn't want a clone of another man. She wants you in your authenticity, in your growth, in your journey. Some of you are stuck in relationships where you feel like you're always playing catch up to invisible competition. That's not love. That's pressure. That's ego. That's emotional manipulation dressed in the name of just being honest. So if your woman keeps comparing you to other men, and if every compliment she gives feels like a backhanded reminder that you're still not him, I need you to love yourself enough to walk away. You deserve someone who sees you and says, "You are enough. You're my person." Not someone who keeps wishing you were someone else. Let her go. One of the most painful places to be is in a relationship where you feel completely alone. And I know that might sound strange to say, how can someone be alone when they're in a relationship, right? But trust me, it happens more than we admit. If your woman makes you feel alone in the relationship, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, leave her. This is Jessica Opare, and I want to speak directly to the man who's tired of pretending everything's fine. The man who lies awake at night next to someone who feels more like a stranger than a partner. The man who shows up, provides, protects, gives his all, but gets silence, distance, and disinterest in return. That kind of loneliness cuts deeper than any breakup ever could, because it convinces you that your feelings don't matter. A relationship is not just about sharing space or carrying a title. It's about showing up. It's about connection. It's about knowing that when the world gets heavy, there's someone who truly sees you, not just what you do, but who you are. If your woman is physically there but emotionally absent, that's not love. That's presence without partnership. That's companionship without connection. And I know some women will say, but I'm here. I haven't left. Yes, maybe she's still there, but how is she there? Is she checking in on your mind, your heart, your struggles? Is she asking how you feel, not just what you've done? Or has she made the relationship all about her needs, her emotions, her desires, and left you emotionally starving? Some women become so focused on being loved that they forget to give love. They expect you to pour from a cup they never helped fill. And over time, that starts to weigh on you. You feel like you're the only one trying. You stop expressing your emotions because every time you do, you're met with indifference or criticism. So you shut down, you go quiet. And slowly, the relationship becomes more about maintaining peace than feeling connected. You deserve more than that. You deserve someone who makes space for your feelings, not someone who only notices you when something's wrong. You deserve someone who asks about your dreams, not just your deadlines. Someone who holds you, not just your wallet. Love is about emotional reciprocity, not one person doing all the reaching while the other stays emotionally distant.
Don't stay in a relationship just because it looks good from the outside. Don't stay just because she says the right things when people are watching. Pay attention to what happens when no one else is around, when you're in pain, when you need comfort. If she can't show up for you when it really counts, that silence is louder than any words she'll ever say. So if you constantly feel alone, unheard, unsupported, if your emotional needs are being ignored and you're carrying the weight of the relationship by yourself, it's time to love yourself enough to let go. Because being single and at peace is far better than being in a relationship that leaves you feeling invisible. Let her go. You deserve more.